Hi, and welcome to BeatleDave's Beatles channel. Today I will be showing a very special Paul McCartney and Wings item, so please come and join me. So hello and a wonderfully warm welcome today to BeatleDave's Beatles channel. Hope I find all you fantastic Beatles people doing really well, and thank you so much for joining me again on the channel. Well, the subject for today's showing is a really incredibly rare Paul McCartney and Wings item from 1979, and this particular promotional item was actually limited to 500 sets that were made. So have you guessed what it is? Do you give up? Okay, enough teasing you guys then. So the item in question is the Back to the Egg promotional box set, which is incredibly rare to see these days. So that will be coming up very, very shortly, but right now though, it's time for something completely different, and it is Ask BeatleDave, yeah! So yes, welcome to Ask BeatleDave, where I'll be answering your questions that you have about anything Beatles related, perhaps about any item I've shown, any item that I haven't shown, just about anything you can think of, anything about the solo careers, just about anything, and I'll endeavour to answer it right here. So today's question is from my mate Beatley Tone. Hiya Tone mate, I hope you're okay. And Beatley Tone asks, BeatleDave, if you were forced to remove one track from each of McCartney, McCartney 2 and McCartney 3, which track would you get rid of from each album? So starting with McCartney then, in 1970, the song that really doesn't do much for me is actually the last song on the album, which is Crean a Craw, because I actually feel that Maybe I'm Amazed would actually be a better closing song on that album. Going on to McCartney 2 from 1980, I think side 1 is without doubt the better side of the album, but my choice would be Front Parlour, although much of side 2 isn't that great I don't think, but Front Parlour would be the one I'd remove there. McCartney 3 from 2020 then, there was a couple of contenders being Pretty Boys or Kiss of Venus, so I'll probably go with the Kiss of Venus on that LP. So Tone, I really hope that answers that question for you, and guys, if you want to contribute to Ask BeatleDave, just send me a question in the comments and I'll make sure I include it in a future episode. It's that simple. So come on guys, please me by getting involved and ask me some super questions. Okay then guys, moving on though, it's time for I Call Your Name. So yes, it's on to them old shout-outs, and it's a great big BeatleDave hello to Sir James Bowie Sinatra Lenny White Lennon, Pete Terry, Magical Mystery Mike, don't forget Mike's absolutely superb YouTube channel, Yakking with Friends, you got your shout out my friend, Paul Elliott, Moth, Gavin Norman. So that's a great big hi to you guys from yours truly, BeatleDave. Okay then, so moving on then, we're on to the main event, and I present to you fantastic Beatles people, a true holy grail, the Back to the Egg promo box set from 1979. So please, come and join me. In 1979, the Paul McCartney and Wings album Back to the Egg was released on the 8th of June. Prior to the release, a lavish in-house box set was produced to promote the album's UK release. The boxes were essentially filled with various promotional items that were available, including the album, a 4-page booklet, stickers, postcards, several photos, an egg badge, and in some very rare cases, a Back to the Egg t-shirt. Categorically though, only 500 box sets were ever produced, and the box was never ever available for sale and strictly for in-house use or promotion to the press, sales reps and internal managers who worked for EMI. A handful of the box sets included a special Back to the Egg t-shirt, which was only produced as a run of 50 and accounts for why the t-shirt does not appear in every box, as it was never actually a proper component of the set. These days, The Back to the Egg promo box is a rarely seen item, and although some of the box contents regularly appear on auction sites, the box set itself only comes up for sale once in a blue moon. So let's take a look. So here is then the Paul McCartney Wings Back to the Egg promotional box set from 1979. There's only ever been 500 of these sets ever produced, and they were for in-house executives, EMI executives, or for promotional purposes. And all the contents, they varied, but we'll come to that in a moment anyway. Now, Back to the Egg was actually the very first Paul McCartney album I ever bought, and actually Good Night Tonight was actually the very first single I'd ever bought as well, and that was recorded around the same time. And actually I think it's a really fabulous album, and there's some really great tracks on there, I think, and hopefully we'll get an archive edition very, very soon. So we're going to take a look at the box first. Obviously, as you can see, it's exactly the same slick as you would get on the original cover of Back to the Egg, but this particular one obviously is the box promotional box. It's a little bit of slight wear and tear, or just a bit of just wear, I guess, around the outside. But these are really, really hard to find, these boxes. I think I've only ever seen 2 in the last 20 years. That's how rare they are. So let's just flip that over. You see on the back, it's completely black. It's got like a sort of hinge there going on, but there's absolutely nothing on the sides. They're just completely blank. And then we come around to the front side, and the actual box, we're going to undo the box if we can undo it. Just going to flip it open. I've taken all the inserts out for the moment just so I can show you the box. So there's a little bit of staining at the back there, but the box itself, it's quite a deep box actually. I've got to say, it's got to be a good 2 inches deep, and that's the inside of the box there. So I'm just going to go through all the contents that I've got in this particular box then. We're just going to have a flip through. Some of the contents are duplicated, but that's just the way they just threw anything pretty much in these boxes apparently. So as you can see right there, we've got already at the start there, we've got not 1, not 2, but 3 Back to the Egg stickers. Now you do see some of these items on eBay occasionally, and they're going for reasonable amounts of money, but they're still obviously promotional items. So let's put that to one side. And then we've got some postcards. Now these are all the same. There's 4 there, exactly the same. There's no difference in photos, but it's a shame there isn't. But these have all got Wings postcard Back to the Egg there on the back. Exactly the same. And then we've got some little, what they call like cigarette cards. Put that out of the way. And we've got Paul. You've got Linda. They've actually got some text on the back. I forgot to show you that. So I've actually got some text on the back of these cards. Very, very small to see that. I'd have a job to see that without any glasses on. There's Paul. And Linda, of course. And Denny. And you've got Steve Holly. And Lawrence Juba. And then you got another set, exactly the same. So it's 2 sets of those cards. Back to the Egg badge. Little badge there. And then with this set there was a promotional single for Old Siam Sir and Spin It On, which is great. That's a great addition. That's in great condition. The sleeve's not so good, but the single's pretty much mint. Let's put that over there. So this is something you don't see in every set. You've got these set of photos, which are really nice photos taken at specific locations and times. And on the back, you've actually got like a piece of paper stuck to each photo, telling you a bit more information there. Of course, you've got Wings Back to the Egg there. So this is taken on the 2nd of April 1979 at the Hammersmith Palais in London. And you've got the lineup details there and who took the photo, David Thorpe. So that's a really great addition, these photos within this set. And then we go through these. You've got the Rockestra lineup there. See Hank Marvin and Dave Gilmour and Denny, Pete Townsend. On the back, you've got more details of when it was. 3rd of October 1979 at Abbey Road. Of course, it says there the Rockestra lineup, or part of it. And then we've got one of Paul and Denny there. These are all 8x10s, these photos. That one was taken by David Thorpe, 31st of May 1979 in Kent there. And then we've got a great one of Denny. That was taken at MPL in February 1979. And there's Lawrence Juba and Steve Holly. I'm guessing that was MPL as well. February 79 again. And then we've got Linda, of course. That's February 79 at MPL. And Paul, I'm guessing that's in Kent again. 31st of May 79. And then that's a familiar looking photo there, McCartney 2 photo. Obviously taken by Linda at MPL. So on to this little brochure which you got in the box, and I believe every box would have had one of these as well. So we've got Wings Back to the Egg there, and it basically just tells you a bit of information about the album, etc, etc, who plays what on each track, or certainly across all the tracks, and just general information there, with on the back got the EMI, MPL logos and PCTC 257, which is the catalogue number of Back to the Egg. So onto the vinyl LP then that we've got with the actual set itself. Catalogue number is a PCTC 257. So let's take a look at the sleeve first then, which is obviously identical to the promotional box front. It's got no lamination on this, it's more of a matte finish, this particular sleeve. We've got all the guys there looking at the world through a hole when they pulled back the carpet. I quite like the television series they made of the actual Back to the Egg. It's quite an interesting little promotional half an hour spot, I guess. You can see that on YouTube. It's a great watch. Vintage McCartney. Let's take a look at the back then. So we've got Back to the Egg there. Then you've got Sunny Side Up and Over Easy with Wings top right with PCTC 257. And you've got all those pictures of the guys there, which is very similar to the little cards you got in the box set. In fact, they're exact photos exactly. It's got produced by Paul McCartney and Chris Thomas there, and where it was recorded, all the locations. And bottom left there we've got the MPL details, Communications Limited, and bottom right, Gowan Lofthouse, with a really great looking spine on this one. So onto the inner sleeve then, which once again you've got all the song titles there, a bit more about the production credits, and who played, and where they played, and where they were recorded, etc. It's a really great inner sleeve, this one, really good looking. This one's in absolutely fabulous shape. So onto the vinyl then. And if you've got the promotional box set yourself, just one thing to look out for is on side 1, the matrix should be -2, and side 2 should be actually -1. So do look out for that. Obviously, if you haven't got that, you haven't got the original vinyl which was included with that promotional box set. And also, some box sets included a t-shirt, but certainly not every box set, because there was only 50 made. So there was only a selection of t-shirts put in some of those boxes. So if you didn't get a t-shirt in your box, don't worry, because it actually wasn't a part of the actual box set itself. But yeah, I love the concept of this with the Sunny Side Up on this side and the Over Easy. But the full matrix on this side is YEX 987-2. We're going to flip that to the Over Easy, and this one's in absolutely mint condition. This is beautiful. And once again, the matrix on this side then is YEX 988-1. So thank you all for joining me today, guys, and tuning in. Really hope you've enjoyed seeing the Back to the Egg promo box set. And of course, as always, I appreciate any comments I get from any of you guys, and I will endeavour to come back to you just as soon as I can. So next week then, we are back with episode 6 of my Apple Records album series, and we continue with the Billy Preston album, That's the Way God Planned It. So make sure you're here next week, same Beatles time, same Beatles channel. So anyway, as always guys, if you enjoy what I'm doing, why not give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. This is BeatleDave signing off. BeatleDave.